Every digital marketing guru on the internet is going to hate me for this video. But I don't really give a shit because my team made over 100 cold appointments this week with hedge fund managers, investment bankers, and CEOs. So while everyone's hiding behind LinkedIn messages and automated funnels, we're picking up the phone and booking multi-million pound deals. And I'm going to show you exactly why cold calling isn't dead. It's just that people got lazy. I'm Gio. I've closed over £1 billion cold calling investment bankers. My biggest single deal was £62 million. Yes, I'm not kidding. And that was from a cold call. Actually, I closed a deal yesterday for 2.3 million that started with a cold call. So if you're willing to do what's uncomfortable, keep watching. Here's what pisses me off about sales coaches. They've never made a cold call. They've never had someone hang up on them. They've never been told to fuck off. But then they'll sell you a $2,000 course on LinkedIn automation because they're too scared to pick up the phone. Meanwhile, my team are booking meetings with hedge fund managers at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. So who do you want to learn from? Someone who's actually doing it or someone who's theorizing or talking shit to sell you a course? I'm 50 years old, hence the gray hair. I've made and lost millions. I live in Portugal and I don't have to do this. But I still have a cold calling function. I'm still training my team. I'm still closing deals. Why? Two reasons: cold calling works. And two, why would you ever turn off a function that prints money? Cold calling's always worked. It always will work. The only thing that's changed, and I mean this, is that everyone's just too soft to do it anymore. And that's your advantage. In the next 6 minutes, you're going to learn why people say cold calling is dead and the psychological reason they're wrong, the exact framework I use to open cold calls that doesn't sound like every other desperate salesperson out there, and the critical mindset you need in order to handle all objections effectively. Here's the truth. People say cold calling is dead because they suck at it. It's easier to blame the tactic than admit you're terrible at execution. Everyone wants the easy path. Build a funnel. Take 6 months might work. Post on social media. Pray someone sees it. Wait for inbound leads. Good luck. No one knows who the fuck you are. And look, I'm not saying those don't work. They do. There's people making a lot of money doing those. But when you're spending 6 months building a funnel and praying someone fills out a form, I'm on the phone with your prospect, closing them. And here's really what most people don't get or take into consideration. The harder the activity, the fewer people doing it. Therefore, the less competition you have. Everyone's looking for shortcuts. Everyone wants automation. Everyone wants it to be comfortable. But when you do the thing that's uncomfortable, when you pick up the phone and have a real conversation, you're already ahead of 95% of people. Plus, here's a psychological advantage. If everyone's looking to move online and adopt funnels and clever lead magnets, going in the opposite direction is almost always a cheat code. I promise you, if you start going in the opposite direction from everyone else, you'll 10x your results instantly. Okay, so here's how I structure my cold calls, and this is what my team is using right now to book over 100 appointments a week. The opening. Never ask, do you have a minute? It gives them permission to say no. Instead, say, you're not in a meeting, are you? It's assumptive. It presumes they're available. They have to actively interrupt you to say no. That simple switch will increase your appointment setting rate by up to 40%. Number two, use social proof immediately. We've just finished a rollout with insert credible client name, and you were next on my list. If others like them said yes, they probably should too. It's called proximity positioning. Notice I didn't say I'm calling to see if you'd be interested in. I said you were next on my list, which is a completely different psychological frame. A critical rule: never repeat objections. This is where most people fuck up. Prospect says, I'm not interested. Rep says, so you're not interested in our product? Correct. Fuck off. This triggers their amygdala, their fight or flight. Now they're defending their position instead of listening to you. The right response is, of course you're not interested because of A and B. However, what we do is different. You're validating them. You're not pushing back against them, and you're showing that you understand their world. Then you explain the industry problems, what I call naming the demon. For example, of course you're not interested. Most people in your position have been burned by financial advisors who promise the world and deliver nothing. But what we do is different. This creates cognitive dissonance. They think, wait, he knows what the problem is. He's different. Now their brain needs to resolve the conflict. The only way to do that is to listen to what you have to say. Look, let's be real, right? I'm not saying cold calling is easy. It's not. I've made days where I made 50 calls and gone nowhere. I've been hung up on 100 times. I've been told to fuck off. I've been screamed at by gatekeepers. One time some guy told me he wished I died of cancer. That was fun. But here's what I do know. I've made $1 million plus in commission more than once doing this. I closed a £62 million deal that started with a cold call to the guy's accountant. Yesterday, as I said, I closed a $2.3 million deal with a cold call. My team are booking 6 and 7 figure deals every single week, all from cold calls. My entire empire was built from cold calls. So you can see that the gurus that are telling you it's dead are telling you that because they're too scared to pick up the phone and they're trying to sell you their easy solution. You need to join the small group of people who realize that doing the hard thing is exactly why it works. Do you want the full cold calling script breakdown, the exact words that I use? If you do, including exact tonality, exact objection handlers, drop script in the comments, and I'll make a dedicated video. I'll show you the opening that got me 52 appointments from 114 calls. Work out that ratio. I'll show you how to handle. Send me an email. I'll show you how to get past gatekeepers who are paid to keep you out. Subscribe if you want more brutally honest sales content from someone who actually knows what they're doing, not just thinking about it. And if you think I'm wrong about cold calling, comment below and tell me why. I'll read every comment and I'll respond. But I'll warn you, I've closed over £1 billion doing this, so you better have a good argument. See you next time.